Well, hey guys, it's Dr. Drake 63 here. I want to thank you for joining me. And today I want to talk about the top 5 things that you can do when you don't have the opportunity to shoot, which is the main reason most of us are into guns. Certainly the reason why I am. This particular time I'm coming to you is in the midst of the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. A lot of things are shut down. Ammo is in short supply, and public gatherings, public places, depending on where you live, are getting shut down as well. So for a lot of folks, they're not going to have an opportunity to go out and shoot their firearms, which is really the main reason most of us got them. That's certainly the reason I have them. So I want to talk about things you can do to keep yourself involved with the shooting sports hobbies, and some things that might be good for you in terms of the longevity of your firearms, organizing your workspace, and so forth. So, number 1, clean your guns. Now, a lot of folks do that all the time anyway. I do. I don't have any firearms as of this time that need cleaning, but I also know that there's a lot of guys that aren't so good about cleaning their firearms. A real good example of something that would be good to clean would be to get that hunting rifle out and get those copper deposits, copper fouling out of the barrel. And there's certainly plenty of ways to do that. But a good time to just take your firearms, maintain them, make sure they're clean, make sure if you got some real lookers that they're polished, things of that nature. So, besides looking at ammo and stuff like that, what do you have for cleaning products? I've got a couple things that I've used over time, specifically for cleaning bores on rifles. Hunting rifles tend to get some copper fouling, things like that, and those are types of things that you can address right now. So what do you have for cleaning products? You see a lot of stuff here on my shelf, different stains for wood, things of that nature, but can always probably use more. You guys might have your favorite thing. My favorite thing for cleaning, just overall, is this stuff right here. I think this just does an awesome job. It holds its viscosity through extreme temperature ranges, things like that. It's probably why the military uses it, and I found it to be a really good product. The second thing you can do right now, which would be a real good idea, is to inventory your stuff. And by inventory your stuff, I'm talking about 3 different things. I'm talking about inventorying your available ammunition. I'm talking about inventorying your gun parts. And I'm talking about inventorying your tools. All 3 of these things are important. So, with that being the case, this is a real good time to do that. Know what you have. For smart record keeping, as well as possibly insurance purposes, it's good to know the serial numbers of all your firearms and keep them recorded someplace for future reference. What do you have for parts and tools? I'm not going to show you all my tools, but the stuff I got sitting on my workbench right now, here's a series of wood files that were used in a recent project to fit a gun stock. You can see I saved brass. Here's some gun screwdrivers, torque wrench. Hanging up here, you see some brushes. I don't know how you could do anything without a bench vise. Now, you want to be real careful how you use something like this with respect to firearms, and I always use a couple pieces of leather and so forth to keep it from getting marked up. Something that everybody ought to have that does any work on guns is a rubber mallet, and you need punches. Here's one of my favorite things a lot of people don't use for firearms, a toothbrush. These are great for cleaning off bolt heads. These are great for getting to hard to reach places. They're cheap, and they're not going to scratch or damage your firearm. I got all sorts of weird stuff sitting here. This is the bolt from a Remington Model 8. And the bolt that was in there had some issues. This one came out. I ordered a new one online. Here's a leaf spring that didn't work. So I have to really ask myself, why do I save this? I guess it's because I don't like throwing out gun parts. But different stuff that I use. Occasionally use that bench grinder, nice to have. And toolbox with assorted things. And then, of course, a whole plethora of stocks that I don't use. Grips and the like. Other stuff, bags of 357 brass that I save. And this is what I really need to inventory, is this right here. I have every imaginable part for ARs that you can imagine. Springs, detents, you name it. Pistol grips, everything. I probably have enough to build 2 or 3 ARs right there. I just need lowers for them. I've never used this on a firearm, by the way. I don't know why I have it. But just kind of taking a look around at some of the different stuff, and you know, you look up top, and where do you put those cases for the firearms that are in the safe and stuff like that. I mentioned leather that I use with the bench vise, and I keep that right up there. Refinish a gun stock. Maybe some of you have one of those old beater rifles, or you've got something that you picked up that you'd like to have a different look to it, something like that. I personally, over the years, have enjoyed refinishing, restaining, whatever, wooden gun stocks, and it's a project that usually, if you do it right, spans days, and gives you something to spend some time with your firearms and get them looking really nice. Now, obviously, if you have some kind of collector's item, some kind of milsurp or something, and you're wanting to keep it in its exact condition, you won't do that. But whatever you have, if you have something you've been thinking about going after, a scratch or a dent or something like that, or just giving your firearm a different look, why not do it now? Back when Mosins were a dime a dozen, I didn't think twice about refinishing those stocks. Here's a brand new stock that I inletted and finished for a Remington Model 81. I learned a lot while doing this project, and have to say I'm very happy with the results of my own handiwork there. Number 4, plan your next hunting trip. Now, I know this doesn't apply to everybody. There's people that watch this channel that don't hunt, but a lot of you do. And a lot of folks go out when it's deer opener or whatever and show up to the same spot they always have, or hope to find a spot. Well, do some research, spend some time, look at maps, look at areas where there's hunting pressure. Where have you been successful in the past? Or in talking to friends and colleagues, where have they been successful? Maybe they're willing to let you come along. But whatever the case may be, I'm sure there's something from your last hunting trip that you would have liked to done better. Good time to sit down with a paper and a pencil and start coming up with some ideas of how you can improve the success or the enjoyment of your next hunt. Last, dry fire your firearms. Not all firearms lend themselves to this, and always recommend snap caps, but this is a real good time, especially for you concealed carry guys, to practice unholstering your in the waistband or out of the waistband firearm. Obviously, you don't want to do this with a loaded gun. I don't think that needs to be said, but I'm going to say it anyway. But you're looking at a situation where you need to be as good at getting that firearm out into a firing position to defend yourself as you do at actually hitting a target once you shoot the thing. So dry firing, drawing practice is a good time. I think the old saying is practice makes perfect, so practice. So these are just some ideas. We run into various situations where we have ammo shortages, it seems, every few years for various reasons. I don't know why, but 22 always seems to be something that you see low stock on, which boggles my mind because I don't really shoot a lot of 22, but people really stockpile on that stuff. But you're seeing stuff like 9mm and 223 Remington /5.56 disappear real quick. Not so much some of the other calibers. So whatever the case may be, if you find yourself in a situation where you're bummed out because you can't get out, for whatever reason, maybe you're short on money at the time, or there is a shortage, or unprecedented stuff like we see with COVID-19. Take the time to take a look at how you approach your shooting sport. If you want to have your hands on your firearms and not just walk away from the hobby now, you don't have to. This would be a real good time to take stock of what you have, improve what you have, catalog what you have, and hopefully all of this will blow over soon enough and we'll all be out shooting again. I want to thank you for watching. This is Dr. Drake 63 saying so long, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy.